Hello and welcome to another open source live code hangout. Today we'll be working on the CiviWiki project. You can find the source code here at github.com/CiviWiki. When we go to the Open CiviWiki repository, we'll see the project source code as well as supporting documentation, ways to get involved with the community, such as by joining our discussions or our live chat. We've got a number of issues that are open, marked as help wanted, but we also subscribe to or follow this all contributors approach, where we want to accept contributions other than code as well and acknowledge those. So we've got many people who have been able to contribute to this project in various ways: writing documentation, finding bugs, coming up with ideas, financial support, community building. There are a lot of code contributors testing code, reviewing pull requests, and helping us write tests to cover use cases. So there's many ways to get involved with this project, and we welcome you aboard. Today I'm going to go through, there's several notifications. I just want to kind of keep up to date with those, and I might have a little bit of time to work on my own pull request, which is pretty close to the end, at least being ready for review, I would say. The work continues. Software is like a living organism. It should be continuing maintenance and development in order to be healthy. I know sometimes it seems like there would be a stopping point with software where it's feature complete and wouldn't need any more care. But I don't know how often that happens in practice, especially with software that has dependencies on other software which are continuing to evolve. You just kind of need to keep on the pulse of the software, keep it alive. And one good indication of the health of a software project can be found on Github Insights under the contributors graph. It's essentially showing the activity, how many people are helping maintain it, and how much maintenance activity is going into the project. CiviWiki, you can see, has been under development, at least in this repository, since April 17. 2016, and it had a couple of recent spikes of activity, and we're in process of one. This Hacktoberfest, which has brought a lot of different contributors to the project as well. So let me get that out there. There we are. So we got people who contributed historically, and including bots who've helped us keep our dependencies fresh. A lot of people have contributed code, but those aren't all of the people who've contributed to the project, which is why we've added all contributors. So yeah, we've got several issues. We're using a help wanted label, and good first issue for like low-hanging fruit, things that are a little easier. They're not always trivial. Sometimes they will take some figuring out. I don't know the answers to a lot of these tasks. They're something that you've got to take and figure out, but we can also help find a ideal solution among possible solutions while looking at trade-offs of various approaches. And any issue that is taken during October 2022, we will make sure it has the Hacktoberfest label, so it will count towards your Hacktoberfest credits. All right, let's get into the PR and community activity review. We're not going to go quite into code yet. This is my pull request in progress. Like I said, it's pretty far along. There will be work continuing after this pull request, and hopefully this pull request will get finished soon. Gorkum opened this account. No, wait, sorry. This is my issue and my related pull request. So yeah, these are both. Gorkum opened one up here. I'm going to go in reverse chronological order though. So we've got a community contributor who took this issue, no verification when user deletes info. I guess I'll just do like this. Yep. Okay, so we just had a quick discussion. This is a sort of long-standing issue posed by Petrov, who was helping us with, at that point in time, writing unit tests and test coverage, end-to-end testing as well, and had found some unexpected behaviors and was adding issues as they found those. So what we've done is agreed that first name and last name should essentially be optional. After some long discussion, I believe people should be able to contribute to CiviWiki anonymously. And we'll have to shake out the implications of that, but we also have a feature that allows you, sorry, I keep forgetting this username here, Quinn. We have another feature that allows people to expunge their user information. So this first name and last name could be empty even. I mean, could be expunged, and we're trying to make them optional. It's a bit tricky though, because the default Django user model, which we're inheriting from in our code base, this is actually the form relating to our account model, and our account model inherits from the Django abstract user, which provides a lot of functionality and several default fields dating back to more than 10 years ago, the design of that model, and including a first name and last name field. From my perspective, those fields should not only be optional, but they should probably be part of the, in our project, what we call the user profile. We have a user account, which is just enough information needed to log in, to authenticate. So we're using email and password, I think, primarily for that. All other fields should be on the profile, such as about me and profile image. The fields. Let's see. I believe that's what we have to do. Very cool. The reason, my rationale for this is, again, that the account model should just be the information needed to log in, which is primarily a password, hashed password in the database, as well as whatever the username field is. In our case, we're using, I think, email only. I don't recall if we're using username, although, as can be demonstrated here on GitHub, username can be really useful if you want to mention somebody at mentions, which CiviWiki may want to support. So yeah, any other details, biographical or otherwise, should exist on the profile. All right, deprecation warnings. Okay, we got a pull request. Fixes 126, so good. Following procedure. And let's see. Damian BG, thank you for your contribution. Let me make sure you're assigned. Yes, I can't remember all these. Well, the assignment is important. I'll just come back here real quick. Whoops, forward to go back. That lets other contributors know, oh, this issue is claimed, and lets me remember what's available and who needs maybe some help, mentorship or just guidance. And GitHub has this interesting syntax that when you open a pull request, it's got a document here that you can link that pull request to the related issue using one of these keywords here. So if you use this kind of syntax, use one of these keywords, then the hash symbol, and the issue number, it'll link it here. So that's what happened. That's what Damian did. Not everybody knows this syntax. A lot of people will instinctively, sort of intuitively say, this is related to issue such and such, using natural language, of course. GitHub can't quite parse all the natural language. It's a little bit more restricted, but if you follow this syntax and use any of these keywords that are documented here, it'll link it up, and that just saves us a little bit of time. It also lets me jump straight from the issue to the related pull request, or straight from the pull request to the related issue. So it's really helpful that I can make sure that we're following practices like assigning a developer to the issue and things like that. Filter out deprecation warning. Filtered out. Okay. Let's see what they mean by filtered out. No. We want to fix them. We want to fix deprecation warnings. It's different than filter. These deprecation. Let me double check here. So it's coming from one of our contributed modules, notifications. Let me see if there's a solution here. Is this Django notifications? Where does this come from? It's coming from our something with URLs pi, site packages notifications, site packages notifications. So this is in our virtual environment, lib Python 3.0, 3.10. So that's that, site packages. It's all on my folder there, notifications. URLs. What is the name of this package? Notifications. Where does this come from? Perhaps that's not what I'm actually going for, but I mean, the specific place that we should be able to find this is in our either PyProject YAML as a top level, Django notifications HQ probably. March 1st, 1.7. We're running the latest. We're running Django 4. Maybe it just hasn't been updated. I think this is a good feature to have. I'm going to open an issue here. Yeah. All right. I don't think the pull request solves the issue in a way that we would like to go forward with. Yeah, I'll just take off. Just a little bit of the noise here. Right. Models, views, and URLs. All right. And then this is actually an upstream issue. Where's my star key? Oh, I can't find star. It's next to that, isn't it? I just found it. All right, so I think basically we're gonna have to decline this pull request. I don't want to disable any deprecation warnings. That's a bit of a big hammer, I think, or whatever you call it. That's this one. And this one. I don't know. I was about to close it, but doing Django notifications. I wonder what the difference between Django notifications and Django notifications HQ. And what's Django activity stream? Hey. Wow. Very cool. With scrutinizers, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how these projects compare. They both have a lot of contributors. They both have recent-ish activity. Activity streams. Yeah. That. Why? Why the fork? It's pretty cool. This one is a bit more recent. Django 4, February 20. Huh. Consider switching to Django activity stream. I'm going to discuss that idea. I don't know if we can convert a discussion to an issue. Django notifications. Let's use the same word from, I don't want to be biased. I just want to consider where we are now and where we want to go. Very cool. All right. So there's that. I don't know necessarily if the Django activity stream will have the same deprecation warnings. And I don't have the time in this live stream to kind of dig deeper. I'd like to open up for discussion or request for discussion here or request for comments. Very cool. All right. So sorry, Damian BG, I didn't look more deeply into the issue when I opened it. Yeah, so if I had done that, I would have found the upstream bug report, but that's also part and parcel of taking an issue, particularly when you have a very specific error message, looking to see if other people have encountered that or where the error stems from before just zeroing in on a solution. I think would save some time, and I want these, we need these deprecation warnings because they're going to tell us about stuff like in the Django core and whatnot that are being removed in Django 5, and we want to be able to have time to fix that code before it just hits our project. That's what the deprecation warnings are for. We don't want to suppress those. All right, cool. We do appreciate the contribution, and yeah, I think hopefully I just explained better. I should mark this as private. It's Tuesday/Thursday. Admittedly, it is a bit hours cryptic. It's not intended for public consumption. I should probably just do that elsewhere, but okay. I'm keeping tabs here. I mentioned this in the previous stream that my current employer, WonderDog, has a benefit, a program to support open source development, and they pay basically, a small amount, up to a certain number of hours per month, to contribute to open source projects. And that can include code and project management, but also just community organization, like hosting meetups and stuff like that. So this, I think it's publicly known that WonderDog does it. I don't think I hope I'm not disclosing anything that's confidential. I believe it's when you go into the interview process, it's one of the benefits they mention. So I think in a way, it's a sort of a recruitment thing as well, because so many software developers in particular we rely so heavily on open source, even if we're working in proprietary projects. I mean, we're benefiting so immensely from open source ecosystem. This project couldn't exist without so much effort that's gone into Django, for example. So I think that it's really good that companies like WonderDog do pay it sort of forward, that and I think also potentially can contribute directly to the projects and packages on which we depend. And WonderDog is a consultancy, so we're working in other companies. We have contracts with other companies and can't dictate to those companies their open source contribution policy. So I think that's why WonderDog is taking this pay it forward approach, to acknowledge that our employees are contributing to the open source ecosystem in many ways. As mentioned, it's not just code, and this CiviWiki acknowledges that there are many ways to contribute, and giving a financial reward for those contributions up to a limit. They also want to treat, this is an interesting thing about the company also, they have a high regard for employee well-being, like really extremely high. There's not only the benefits that they offer, but just the care that is taken with employee well-being. So they cap the number of hours per month to keep you from kind of burning out, by burning the candle on both ends, as I would say. That's at least the way it's described. It makes sense to me. That doesn't mean you can't spend more time on the open source projects, of course. So that's why I'm keeping these numbers here. It helps me, and then I can apply for the sort of reimbursement by tabulating my hours I spend. I try to be around to the nearest half hour, and minimum of a half hour. It's like it kind of takes a little bit of time just to even sit down and take a task, even though the time at the keyboard can take only like 5 or 10 minutes sometimes. It's got a context shift involved, spinning up and down. So I think it's pretty common to kind of have a minimum time to focus on any given task, about a half hour, so you can settle in. And yeah, just trying to be honest and tabulate my time. And today has been about half hour so far. All right, let's continue onward. So yeah, you'll see these project stewardship. For the time being, I'll be creating these. I suppose I could be doing it elsewhere, but as part of the program, this WonderDog employee incentivization program for open source contributions, they want some kind of publicly visible artifact. It could be a blog post, it could be a meetup URL, and in my case, it's pretty much on GitHub. And for a while, I was doing individual issues and pull requests, but then I realized that as this project has accelerated, this Open CiviWiki project during Hacktoberfest in particular, I needed a meta issue for the types of tasks I'm doing. Opening some issues and mentoring some issues. I've taken one and I'm opening pull requests and reviewing pull requests, and I'm actually not doing so good this week actually, I should be going back through here to show you what I should be doing. So deprecation warnings, that was a pull request I reviewed, even though it was rejected. That review did take time and some research time, which was on that case, I just opened the issue so that somebody else could take the time with it and research it if they wanted. And, I'm also available to take some of these, but we're trying to capture these issues and make them available to the community because there are so many people who are interested in doing open source work, so that we can open those up. It gives people the opportunity. So yeah, there's that one, deprecation warnings. And I did open this pull request in the current week, or I've worked on it at the very least. So we'll add that. And I'm going to prioritize the stuff that I'm actually doing. Like code-wise, I think is a higher priority. It's a small thing from my personal perspective of my own contributions, not of other people's contributions. I'll emphasize the ones that I'm actually doing time at the keyboard, as well. I guess project management is time at the keyboard, kind of stewarding these projects. So there's that. It's sort of an issue mentored. I don't know if it's already there. 1426 is already there. Yeah. All right. I opened the issue. Again, I just copied the error into the issue and didn't do anything more on that, so I could move on with what I was doing at that time. So that's about it. Yeah. So that's what these, again, project stewardship issues are for, and hopefully I'm putting a year and week if in case I'm able to continue working into next year. So yeah, thank you, Anuj, for your curiosity and questions there. I think that originally they were considering taking this issue. They were like seeing these links, and I had forgotten to assign myself, and they were like, well, wait a minute, does this mean I should solve all those things? Or what does this mean? It is confusing. So previously, when I've done that, I've actually put a description there. There we go. No, for my stewardship. Yeah, it is over here. There we go. That's all I needed was a description and a little bit of an introduction on the live stream. Can't hurt, hopefully. That's the purpose of that. So yeah, I can kind of say done there. Right, we've got a functional landing page. I don't know if I've got the time on this one. It's a pretty big pull request to do it right now. I was going to kind of get into Gorkum's PR. It closes the 1310. And it's rebasing or something. Well, I think I've reviewed this one. They must have made some changes. Okay. So it looks like they most recently merged this develop branch. How does that? These change requests, they're basically blockers. We wouldn't probably want to merge the work without fixing some of the linting issues and formatting issues. And we also have gone through and given specific change requests that are intended to make it easy to just say, oh yeah, that's a good idea, I'll commit that. You click the button. That's all you've got to do. So in fairness, I think we can, this is normal. When you submit a pull request, you'll have peers review it, and there'll typically be some sort of feedback or at least acknowledgement or questioning. And so when we have these feedbacks, these change requests, then they're an important part of the process, not to be overlooked. All right, cool. Here we go, the big one. Port threads to Django template syntax. And I'll go back to my little thingy here. I'm going to start the review. Are you ready? And honestly, I've already done a little bit of review off the stream. I'll do these in numeric order. That helps me when that list grows. This week, the list hasn't gotten too behemoth. Last week it did. All right, everything is good. And I believe this is going to cause conflicts with my branch because I think we're in the same files on a couple of occasions. Let's see. threads, models, thread, test views. The URLs, I believe. No, what was it? The models. I changed the models in my pull request to add reverse relationships. And then that also created a migration, which we don't have a migration here. That's good. Let me just check the models. I'm going to hop straight to that. And after that, I'll just read top to bottom. I believe, though, I can trust Gorkam's progress so far. So basically, they've taken some CSS, moved it into our less. They could take some of this code and format it. There would be a lot of you know, 2 spaces versus 4 spaces. Cool. So we're going to drop both fields. Right, because I guess we can do those at the database. However, this comes into this is more of a question of where to put the load. Because in any case, those number of civvies and number of solutions would be neat. We would have to count those if we're displaying them in the UI, if that's a feature we want to keep. If we don't want the civvy and solution counts, then of course we can drop the fields. There's no question. If we do want those counts, then we have to determine where those counts should occur. At runtime, when you're querying the thread page and displaying all of the civvies and solutions, so each time you display the thread, it would run that query again, or at some database event, like a hook, when a civvy is added and a solution is added, you can calculate it then and store it as a property on the model. So it's like a form of caching. In that case, you save the query time, the runtime query. So now, number of solutions is different from solutions. Let me see here, actually. So we've got this Civet Manager. Pretty heavy. I think that Gorkin's leaving these out. And okay, so we're putting these on the manager, the model manager. That's where you access the doc objects, for example. All right, so table level functionality, that's the distinction. Model method, so if we want to add in a property of the model, literally computed value or something, from that's derived from that model instance, then we would add it directly to the model. So that looks like a convention we should follow in our project, adding these to the model manager. I've tended to add those to the models. In a way, it's similar to the reverse relationship field of the model. It seems to get added to the model, but it could be added to the model manager. It's abstract, so I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to comment here. Just get a better understanding. Oh, that's where it differs. I believe these should be moved to the properties of the model itself. Yeah, so we already have the civvy in memory for whatever reason. We're rendering a page or something. I think this index is a little cleaner, but I'm just not sure how this model manager is going to work. Based on this example, though, if we add a manager here with count, it's going to be just for a shared reference. All right, let's make these consistent while we're here. Support us and how it works. I'm not sure that we're using all these, but that's Gorkum's purview right now. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let me see here. We're looking at a thread. I see. I see. Directly on the thread metal. One problem here is then the thread and civvy modules will be more tightly coupled, but the view is already being kind of coupled. I think they're already in the modules, so In other words, this threads model has the cibi and the thread. Well, let's just recommend it. And you know, unless there's some other place we're using these, I get it that the cibi, this is a filter on the cibis. So let me, and it's going to return cibi objects. At the same time, we do have model properties for such as reverse name, and actually the reverse name is probably what we need here. A reverse name property. This is a foreign key, thread ID. This is a bit tricky. I don't want to just, I want to be thoughtful here. But okay, so we got threads, models. Here we are. Might mean a bigger refactoring. Cibi models. Got it. I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fine though. So this gives us all of the cibis, right? And we can use that same related name in a helper. So that would look something like problem. Okay, so cibi property problems goes self dot cibis filter. Yeah, self cibis filter. Type equals clause. I think this is a little cleaner. Self dot. Thread model. something like this. All right, we're just over 1 hour, so I'm going to call it good. I'll add these comments. Overall, though, I think this is good. Good PR. Let's just move the thread queries. Let's just attach the thread queries. Oops, that's request changes. All right. So yeah, these are tricky things to tackle, and this is more than a refactoring. As you can see, we're not just porting code from one syntax to another. We're getting into the heart of some of the architectural issues here in the project. All right. And we don't have to necessarily solve all the problems as part of one pull request. We can split out the work. So definitely just opening up discussions more than anything. I don't want them to be blockers. This is already a considerable pull request. And it looks good, it's functional. So I don't want perfect to be the enemy of good, for sure. Okay. But I think there are some meaningful considerations here. Very good. All right. Well, this has been another open source live code hangout. Today we've been working on a couple of issues, responding to some questions and comments, and looking in more deeply into some deprecation notices, which turns out it's an upstream issue that's a bit out of our hands right now. But it did open up a broader conversation around the use of that particular package, given the alternative from which it is derived. That also seems to be under active development. So let's figure out some of our package health. We've got a really great pull request here from Gorkum. Part A or B of our two-part initiative to remove all the backbone JS from the project. Now the pull request as it stands doesn't address the backbone issue. It's more of a sort of a refactoring and moving some model methods around, which is sometimes you do things stepwise. So you can't necessarily close issue 1152. So we'll have to reopen. We'll have to open the issues that this is related to 1152, but does not close it. 1152 is a long-standing issue where we want to remove backbone. Removing. Okay. Split from 1152 or something like that related to. Very cool. Yeah, we'll need a similar pull request to 1151, which is basically removing the syntax entirely, removing backbone entirely. This view relies heavily on backbone though, so we have to be careful. And this also might prompt some changes to the overall design and layout. So it's non-trivial effort, but these have been open for over a year. It's kind of blocking the project from moving forward in a healthy way to allow more contributors, to help improve, add features, fix bugs, and things like that. The backbone is a big kind of a unknown. It's already a big enough learning curve to check out the project structure and source code, and Django has quite a lot of features to learn as well for new contributors. To juggle between Django and Backbone is a bit overkill for this project. So there we are. That's the progress for today. If you'd like to get involved with this project, you can stop by github.com/CiviWiki and check out the Open CiviWiki repository. We have many ways to get involved. You can join the discussion, bring some ideas, join our live chat, check out our issues that are labeled as Help Wanted, a Good First Issue, and Hacktoberfest. And there's many ways to contribute if code is not your strong suit. We also need help with design, with bug, finding bugs, fixing bugs, also just coming up with feature suggestions, helping build community. So there are many ways to contribute. And you can see the diversity of our contributors so far, how not everybody is contributing code by any means. We want to affirm all contributors are welcome. So thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.